Hello and welcome. You're with your host Michael or Lord Miguel once again, and today we have a very special surprise for you. It is a show match between Hone and Jonk, and here with me today, through the COVID virus, we have a special guest host, Six Panther himself.
Hello,
How are you
yeah.
today, Six Panther?
I'm good, thank you. It's much better being here as a co-caster rather than playing.
I bet.
I
So,
don't know I don't know if I'm more or less stressed.
more or less, it's certainly a little bit stressful, isn't it? And for the viewers who don't quite remember or don't know, Hone and Six Panther just were the players in the Two Boys One Cup Best of Five round, which unfortunately, Six Panther, you did lose, didn't you?
Yeah, I was the one that got trounced by Honey 3-0.
You did. And now we have a show match between Hone, the victor of Two Boys One Cup, and an unknown player, someone no one's really met before, Jonk.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know I'm a caster. I'm supposed to be what's the word? I'm not supposed to have sides, but I'm rooting for John.
Is there a surprises there after they did the 3-0? It was pretty embarrassing for you. Sorry. We're on the same team here. I'm actually also rooting for Jonk. Jonk's real name is Jock. He is an old friend of mine, and he's been playing Age of Empires since before Hone was born. However, Hone's been practicing a whole bunch in the last, since Two Boys One Cup, right?
Yeah.
So we're about to see old school cool versus. Sorry, what? Yeah, he got a lot more practice. Yes.
Yeah, and double the amount of time than me.
Yeah, we're about to see old school cool versus try hard practice heaps, right? Hone being practice heaps, and Jonk old school cool. I'm rooting for Jonk too. Who knows? We'll see what happens. They're both looking pretty standard in their starts right now. Just going for cows, getting their food up, and we've got 4 for wood on Jonk, and we got 3 for wood for Hone. So, and he's also luring his first boar now. What do you think about the Civ matchup? We have Franks for Hone and in Goths for the Jonk. Do you think there's a favour?
Very excited. Well, me and Honey both banned Franks in our game, so it'll be interesting to see Franks finally played, because they are so strong.
They are very strong, Civ.
Oh, God, I love
Goths.
I think that's my best game in the series of 3 games was with the Goths.
With
that
Goths.
early fuel with cheaper militia. It'll be interesting to see if Jonk uses it.
Whether he goes for that early aggression, right? Whether he manages to pull it off.
We're still waiting for barracks.
Yeah,
he's just got 2 houses and a lumberjack.
He's just been housed. Well. Yeah, very embarrassing for him. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Hone, I think is he a villager down? What is he? Why is he not housed? Maybe he's housed as well. Are they both housed? He's definitely luring the next.
No, Honey's got 20 house.
Oh, okay, well, there we go.
He's just behind Jock.
There we go. And they're both on 14 villages each, so it's very easy, very even. He's luring in the second boar now. Jock has not lured a single boar, which is... Oh no, he's lured his first one. He's alright. He's
just finished his first one. He's putting his mill now, just next to the bushes.
He is. Now, about the bushes, the Franks get a forage bush buff, and their villagers collect, 20%, or it might even be more, 25% faster than your regular civ. So this food income for Hone on these bushes, a lot more than what Jonk will be having from his ones on his bushes. So it's a little bit an early game advantage for the Franks.
Yeah.
And we're just taking a look at the map now. So Hone, Ford Gold, and it's very open. So for those people who don't know, Age of Empires is played on random maps, and these random maps are generated based on some rules. And as you can see, this set of rules is a game type called Arabia, and the map is very open, although there's some sparse woodlines. There's lots of hills, lots of wolves on the outskirts, and
very easy to wall between the. If you just make walls in between the wood lines, then the woods will act as a natural wall.
That's true. So you can wall up your base quite easily. Who's housed now? Hone's housed this time at 20 villages. So that's going to counteract the housing of Jonk. And look, their villager... I noticed Jonk was behind a villager before because of his house, and now they're back to even because Hone's just housed himself. So that mistake from Jonk is now being counteracted by a mistake from Hone. But yeah, as I was saying, you're right. You can wall between these wood lines, and for example,
Yeah.
Hone he could make a wall over here, and maybe from here to the edge of the map, and wall off this entire side and make it quite safe for him. But the front of his base, not only is it open and very difficult to wall, but his main gold is right there, and he's got this awful, dirty, big hill a little bit further up from that. It's just hard to deal with.
He needs to get up that early, or if he can go to the top of his base where he's got those 2 gold piles to the northwest of his base. If he can build a
town centre on this, or a castle, yeah, that would be a great
place
for a castle. Yeah, and it's got the hill bonus too. There's a little hill there. That would be good. I agree.
But that would give him that gold.
Not a good, not like if he loses control of his golds, his game's over. And he doesn't have a back gold, and he does have one at the far right side of the map. That's also very open as well, so it's going to be hard for Hone to take control of his golds this game.
And if you look at Jonk, he's got 3 militia coming out now, and he's on that secure back gold.
He is going for the drush, and this is fantastic. Meanwhile, the drush is a bit late. We just hit 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 seconds now. That drush should have been coming in a lot earlier, maybe 8 minutes, and Hone scouted it. Look, he just has his, maybe he's not actually paid attention. I just realized his scout's on auto scout. He doesn't know the drush is coming at all. And that fog of war, he hasn't even scouted the barracks. So this is what auto scout does for you folks.
Yeah. I don't think he's seen that militia man.
I don't think he saw him at all. He wouldn't have seen the little blip of purple on the minimap, that's for sure. And those militia, they're coming over, and that forward gold is forward and it is open. I mean, it is quite close to the town centre, but he can deny. He can deny, for example, Hone might be going fast castle knights this game, and he could deny the gold, denying that fast castle potentially. We've got a counter barracks coming up from Hone. He hasn't seen the militia, he's just making a barracks probably because he has too much wood.
Yeah, he's already hit castle, so he's a bit further ahead. Feudal, sorry.
Yeah, he feudaled a little early. He should be doing a fast castle as Franks, but I think he's feuded a little early, and it's gonna mean that he can't deal with this militia. There goes up the stable. He's not making his own militia, he hasn't seen it yet, and here comes the scouting in from Jonk.
Yeah, typical Hone. He's just gonna mass cavalry no matter what Jonk's army companies.
No wonder he likes the Franks so much. Here comes in that drush, and we hit the scout. It's going to deny that stable. There's no scouts coming out anytime soon for Hone, and he's instantly being drushed, and that's a weak build. That build lured a boar.
Does he have loom?
He does have
which
loom.
Makes
he's got loom, which is smart.
Yeah, I think if he didn't have that, he would...
Now, Jonk is now going to the next stage, the feudal age, and he's doing it on 27 villages versus Hone's 25 villages. So, and he's distracted the entire wood line. This is a lot of eco damage, and it's forced Hone to... He's throwing up a tower.
do I like that tower?
I don't like that tower. He's wasted 125 stone to put that tower up. That stone is meant to be for your town centres. When you hit castle.
It's near his goal, but it's not far up enough.
And spearman is the wrong thing to make to counter a drush. So all of these militia are as strong as your villagers. To fight off a drush, you can use your villagers, but this tower is a huge overreaction from Hone, and just by making that tower, I think this entire drush has been successful already. He doesn't even need to kill a villager. This is enough idle time, this is enough economic damage to pay those militia 60 food each off tenfold. This is fantastic by Jonk.
Was he trying to fast that build up quickly to pop?
He did look like he tried to wall. I lost a villager, so the first bill goes down. There she is in the dirt.
We've got an upgrade coming up for his militia to man-at-arms.
So this is what's great. When your drush pays off this strongly, you can... he's lost barely any health in his militia. Why not get the man-at-arms upgrade? And now he's going to get another villager kill.
Yeah, 2 villagers.
It's a pity he lost 1 man-at-arms to the TC there, but he did get the villager, so it was definitely worth it. And he's adding in another 2 men-at-arms. Why not? Interesting. So... looking at the villager count, 30 for Jonk, 28 for Hone. So Jonk's not neglecting his economy while he's doing this forward pressure. He does have an idle mill underneath his town centre, as I say that.
Some very good macro, being able to manage your economy and manage your army attacking someone's base right now.
Correct. And you know what else? Hone's not even scouted Jonk. He can't even do a counterattack with scouts or anything because he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, his auto scout has gone in the wrong direction.
And then his auto scout died.
It's going
Oh, no,
around.
it's going to get there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Jonk, he actually scouted himself. You can see it on his map, and then his auto scout went over to the far corner. My goodness.
And now, do you see he's warning in his 2 villagers on his woodline?
Oh, yes. I mean, that's his only wood line. He only has his 2 villagers. He's trying to repair this barracks.
He's only got 2 there.
He's only got to have... If you look at his food count,
wood.
he only has 213 wood left. And he's going to use that all repairing his barracks as these men-at-arms start bashing it down. These men-at-arms, they have +1 attack versus buildings because of the Goth bonus. And he could come over, he could just kill this. He could just kill this tower.
Why even repair it?
This is why the tower is such a stupid idea. This tower's dead. This tower's gonna disappear. It's exactly like you. It's exactly, and he's fighting men-at-arms of villagers, which is not what you want to do. You do not want to fight villagers and men-at-arms.
Are they fighting back, though?
What's that? Sorry.
I don't think Jonk's microwave. He's gonna lose. He's gonna lose 2 men-at-arms.
I don't think he cares. I think these men-at-arms was his drush. He's already done the damage. He just denied 125 stone. It's free stone he just took away. When Hone does get to the castle age, he won't be putting down town centres. He doesn't have the wood for that, let alone the stone. Whereas Jonk, wow, he's going to castle age. Well, he's not going to Castle Age. He's going up to Castle Age soon to the market and blacksmith. Hone's on his way to Castle Age, but what is he going to do once he gets there? He's going to the Castle Age for the sake of Castle Age, I think.
Yeah.
And he loses his 2 wood villages.
That's the 2 things that he loves: siege and cavalry. I think once he gets to Castle Age, he can make a siege workshop.
Yeah, and he could use scorpions maybe to counter the inevitable Goth spam. And I really like to see this from Jonk. Look, he's adding in archers. He's thinking, hey, look, Hone might make some archers to counter my, infantry. I'll just add archers on my own to counter his archers. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's streaming them over. He wants to do more damage. He should really be denying that gold more, but he's not.
Yeah, and he's stationed on the top of the hill. With 3 pikemen as well. Now we've seen about the stables that Hone's done nothing with.
Yeah, so Hone, he wants to make knights, no doubt, but he doesn't have the eco to sustain a lot of knights. He can only make a couple. What is he going to do with them? He needs to raid. He needs to ease the pressure in his base. Yeah, I don't think he can make enough knights to counter this problem, you know? Especially now that they're a spearman.
He's trying to his left, his right wood line with some houses.
Yeah, he's done a pretty good job of that. And he is back in wood with 4 villagers. One of them's very weak. 2 of them are quite weak. And here we go. I like to see this from Jonk. He's trying to deny that stable. He knows his opponent's in Castle Age.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to be making knights. Wow, you can't make knights if you don't have a stable, Hone.
I think he's going to get 1 knight out of these.
And these little archers are just being annoying to the gold line. It's fantastic. And you know what? Jonk's got 600 food. He's got 500 gold. He's no longer producing. He's waiting to go to the Castle Age. He knows he needs to get there. And you know what else? He's been on stone this entire time. He's going to do a castle drop. What do you think?
What's he got? 620. Yeah, he's
got 3 villages on stone. That's going to happen. Those knights just melted to those spearmen.
He just needs another, 200 food? And then, where do you think the best forward cast?
I mean, he can just put it right on top of the 4 gold, right? And look at these knights.
Yeah, that's
they're just outnumbered, and they got pikes mixed in with the tanky man-at-arms. There's nothing they can do. And here goes the stable. He might as well have not built those knights. Oh dear. So this is looking very one-sided so far, isn't it? The early pressure from Jonk is really paying dividends. Where's he going to go with this army?
He's building another stable.
And it's not going to go up. It's a doubt stable.
No, he's given up.
He's given that right up. There's still a hole in the wall.
Range. If he builds an archery range, he can get archers to counter the man-at-arms. And skirmishers to counter the...
But what's the end game there? Because as soon as he builds an archery range and tries to get archers out, let's be honest, Jonk, he just goes to Castle Age and pumps out Huskarls. Huskarls have a lot of pierce armor. They can very easily deal with archers. He's just under a lot of pressure and he needs a way to stop that pressure. And at the moment, he's just letting it all come in. Look at that army control by Jonk, taking it out as soon as the town centre's garrisoned. And we have
Yeah.
5 idols for Hone.
Yeah, he's gonna pick off villagers as well.
Oh, this wood line is about to turn into
What, 5
chaos.
archers in
And
the back?
oh no! And you know what else? Oh, they don't actually have fletching. They don't have any upgrades. If they had fletching, this would be a lot more dead villagers. But I suppose he does have the army there, and oh, that's so much damage. Oh, there's so many weak villagers there.
Oh, he could easily get another 2.
Oh, he could be getting a lot more. One of those men-at-arms could turn around and pick off this one, but he doesn't. I think.
No.
I think he has bigger plans in mind. He's on his way to the castle age now. He's got plenty of stone for a castle. I think he wants to put that on the gold.
Honey does have good micro though. He is managing his economy very well. Like, he's not full. He's still managing his economy on the other side of where he's getting raided.
He is. You're very right. He's heavy on stone. He wants to chuck in those castles. He's got just enough villagers on gold to you know, make those men-at-arms and archers, and nothing else more. Nothing more. And he's got a hefty army to save for it. Here comes some more knights though, and this might be enough knights to clean up some of this. But Hone doesn't want to engage. That's a good idea. He shouldn't engage. These knights should be sent straight to Jonk's base.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've got more men-at-arms and pikes coming up from Jonk.
Yeah, he's got a whole other army on its way, right? You get rid of one feudal army and it's replaced by another. That Goth spam is really paying off. These troops are a little bit cheaper for Jonk compared to Hone doing the same. And these knights are doing exactly what they should be doing. They're going to raid.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with this is there's still spearmen and things in Jonk's base. So how well these knights are utilised is going to be a big game decider here. This is how Hone could scrape his way back into the game. Meanwhile, he's still getting raided at home. He's losing villagers at home by those men-at-arms. There's an archer on the gold. And his knights, he's distracted. They go straight into the army of Jonk. This is not what he wanted. He wanted to use these knights to raid, and now all Jonk has to do is keep those spearmen chasing them.
He's got the entire base scouted, so he could always go down the right-hand side, come up at the back where he's got his gold and his wood. I mean, that would have been the better direction.
He could, but look, there's only one knight left. And he's taken so much damage at home. He's got idle villagers on the farms. There's one archer still on the gold, just picking away, denying gold. Now surely Jonk is thinking Ford Castle. He just fights off of that knight with his villagers. I suppose he couldn't be bothered making the spear.
I don't know if you saw, but Jonk also just lost a...
Michael, you realize you're missing the drinks, right?
Oh, hi, Laura.
Hey, we're in the middle of a cast right now, Laura, actually. So we're going to have to tell you to please mute and go the other way. Thanks. Alright, sorry about that, everyone.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
And I don't know if you saw, but Jonk just lost a villager to a wolf while trying to make a town centre.
Yes, it's on 1 health too, and that will deny a lot of late game eco, considering the game's going to go that way. There's still a lot of army in Hone's base. He's got villagers just in the town centre just doing nothing.
That wood line. But Hone's moved to the other wood line. He's got more villagers further north on the gold, on the stone.
Yep, he's trying to relocate his economy. I can see what you're saying, but
But does he have enough to go?
Sorry, you're cutting out a little bit there.
Oh, sorry. Does he have enough to go for a castle?
Or does Hone have enough? I don't think Hone has enough for a castle. Not yet. He's only on 300 stone. If you go to Jonk, however, he's got 1200 stone. He needs to use that stone. That stone needs to be either castles in the base, or it needs to be castles inside Hone's base.
Yeah, he has enough 2 castles. We're still waiting to see one.
Yeah.
He's not bringing any villagers forward.
No, he's not. Oh no, there's another army coming forward. Never mind, not villagers. He needs to send some villagers forward and put down that castle. That stone needs to be used. He's sent another villager to make that town centre on the right side. And he's destroyed the lone wolf that took out the other villager.
Yeah, now he can make that town centre.
Yeah. That stable's on 98 HP. I don't think that stable's going to survive the next attack. And here we go. The army's on the hill. He's got long swords and pikemen. He's got all of his castle age upgrades. He's got some initial attack and defense upgrades too. This is an army that can't be countered by the knights.
Yeah, I don't want to face that.
Nah, and the crossbows go straight onto the gold. He knows this gold is vulnerable. This gold has been an absolute thorn in Hone's side all game. It's 2 forward and he hasn't managed to lock it down. He could have walled it over to the blacksmith a long time ago, but he never took that opportunity. And more villager kills.
Still, Jonk just doesn't care. He can dive onto the town centre and attack as many villagers.
Yeah, every villager kill is worth it at this stage. He's found the wood line that's quote unquote walled, but there's crossbows, that doesn't matter. They're going to take out all of those.
That's gonna...
Another 3 full villagers.
Yeah, one down, 2 down.
Yeah, and the palisade wall's not even going to protect them either. You know, everyone's in. He's amassing knights to counter this. He's getting another stable. He's repairing his initial stable because he saw how low it was. And there's another army coming again. Interesting. He's just pumping
out. Still no...
Still no castle, I agree. He's pumping out villagers from his other town centre. So I think we got Jonk. He's on 2 town centres now. He's already at 52 vills. Hone's only at 35 villagers. So we're starting to see a stark difference in the economies of these 2 players now. And that's going to translate into these endless armies that Jonk is currently throwing, and only a few knights that Hone can actually muster.
I think Honey is maintained it well so far. He's got gold further out to the right. He's got wood and stone to the north. And he's just run out of his stone. But now he's got enough for... Well, he did just have enough for a castle, and the rest all gone. Yeah. Ah, there it is. Right.
Yeah. He's gone for the defensive castle, and this is the right place, right on the gold. Honestly... Yeah. Jonk could have dealt with this. He could have had his own castle, 2 castles already on that main gold, you know? And that would have been the right move, but now he's going to have to take this to late game. He's going to have to take this to Imperial Age if he wants to take out that castle effectively. It's unlikely to take that down with Castle Age Rams.
I mean, where his army is now, he can deny the farm maybe and the wood line, but Honey's really moved on from that. He's got the wood line to the north.
What is he doing? He's going in. He's diving under the castle. He doesn't care. Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have murder holes, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have murder holes. The pikes are going to defend the archers. The archers are going to hang under, and I think he just wants to slowly whittle it down. This is very rude. It's out of range of the town centre. This is a madman tactic. This is absolutely... He's microing off the pikemen to take care of... He doesn't have enough units here. There's too many knights. He needs...
No, he's got 6 knights. Yeah,
this is a madman move. And it, and it shows. His whole army just melted. Interesting. Now what's the plan? If Hone comes back into this, I'm going to be so surprised. This will be such an amazing play from Hone. Or maybe it's more of a misplay for not putting down those forward castles by Jonk.
Yeah, I mean, he's sending out another army. But what's he going to do now? Like, he's got those 6... Jamie has those 6 knights just underneath the hill.
Yeah.
He's got castle in his base.
I was about to say, look now, Jonk is finally doing it. That central hill, that hill right outside Hone's base, he's saying, you know what? That's a good place for my house. And he's going to build a castle right bam smack on top of it. It's a good castle placement for controlling the map in the late game. It doesn't do anything threatening, and the cool thing about it is he can actually put that up in secret without Hone knowing. He's also coming forward with barracks and siege workshops. He's going to be going to the Imperial Age soon too. He has all the resources for it. I think he's waiting for that castle to go up, and then he'll click up.
Yeah, here we go. The siege workshop coming.
He has a much stronger economy at this stage of the game. He's fighting downhill. Those knights are not going to fare very well against his army of pikes, and he just got a lot of free damage. You can see 4 knight bodies there. One of those knights is almost dead. This is a big old army of pikes, and they're not afraid of those knights at all.
Yeah, 7 pikes against, what was it, 3 knights.
Now, does Hone see the castle? He does not. He never saw that castle going up. He went past it just the wrong way. He's going straight for the economy of Jonk with those knights, but Jonk's already got pikemen ready, waiting. He's trying to micro down the weak one, and he gets it. Very impressive. Now, what do we think Jonk's move is now? Is it transition to Huskarls? Is it Huskarls and pikes? Huskarls to take out the castle?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as he keeps pikes in whatever army comp he's going to have, I think he's fine, because Jamie's Frank, so he's just going to keep in his cavalry.
Yeah.
But if he gets, he's got the siege workshop with him. He's got, if he goes up to Imperial Age, he can get some trebuchets to take down that castle.
Yeah, exactly. And
I
he's
don't think he sees the further away wood camp and the further away gold.
no, I don't think he's scouted those either. I don't think Jonk knows about the sneaky gold mine, and I don't think he knows about all this sneaky stone and wood mines. However, that sneaky gold mine only has another what 500, 600 gold in it. So he's going to run out of that, Hone, and he's going to have to move back to the one underneath his castle, and that's about to be under pressure.
Or just stay there and
I like this forward castle placement by Jonk, but where's his next castle going? Here's 1,000 stone. He's going to the Imperial Age now too. 74 villages. We're just past 43 minutes of game time. Not a bad Imperial time. What's that, sorry?
He's got is Jonk going in now? He's got 2 rams.
Is he going to go in early? He's just starting to pump out these Huskars too. He's got the attack upgrade on them. He needs to get he's researching the armor upgrade on them.
Yeah, I think if he holds off a bit longer.
Look at what Hone switched into. He switched into throwing axemen, and this is probably the right move. These throwing axemen counter infantry. They do melee damage. They're going to counter the shields of the Huskars that Jonk will be doing. This is a really good move from Hone, these throwing axemen. Unfortunately for him, he has not mastered them nearly enough.
No.
But they are ripping through the ones that are alive, the pikes, doing a lot of damage. Obviously the knights cannot engage. He needs more.
Yeah, he's just leading them away.
Yeah.
His second castle as well.
And this is when the Goths start to get red. Oh, second castle from Hone in defense. He needs this castle up. He wants to make more and more of those throwing axemen, no doubt.
Yeah, no, he can pop them.
But this is when, yeah, as I was saying, this is when Goths start to get very dangerous. They have an economy behind them, and these barracks and castles will just be constantly working.
Yeah, and with all the cheaper units, you can just spam out a mass of them.
Yeah, and you can see right now he's got his entire army underneath the town centre. He doesn't care about making losses at the moment. He just wants to keep the economy idle. There's no food income for Hone right now. And here come more. Here comes another battering ram. I would like to see him put some of these pikes inside the battering ram for a bit of show, but... Oh, this castle doesn't have murder holes and it's going to go down. He's trying to repair the town centre. Not a bad move.
He's doing it.
He's doing it.
Oh no, he's garrisoned all of them.
These Huskars have so much armor against these arrows, and there's 2 rams on the left castle, but they're going to be countered by those knights. He's pulling off some Huskars and halberdiers. Halberdiers now! Jonk's made the switch into the last pikey boy upgrade, these halberdiers. An extra 28 attack against knights, I think.
Nice.
That's a lot of damage.
Nice, so he's going to keep them.
Yeah, and this is the only town centre Hone has. He's still in one town centre. He needs to build another. He's just run out of gold on that right side, so he doesn't have his sneaky gold anymore. He's going to have to hold the forward gold in front of his castle. He's got a second town centre on the left. That's good. There we go. That's where his economy is going to be coming from.
Is he making a farm there?
No, he's not farming on the left side yet. He's going for sheep. He's found his sheep.
Down on the right side, he's building a mill with a bunch of farms behind it, next to another.
I can see what you're saying. Yep.
Oh yeah, but I see. Yeah, he's on the sheep as well. And
all of his other town centre. Yeah, it's a really good town centre placement. I like it a lot. He needs a castle to protect it because obviously Huskars can just run in there and take it out. Oh, here's the trebuchet from Jonk.
Yeah, and Jonk has seen that town centre, so
yeah,
all he has to do is go around.
Exactly, correct. Here comes the trebuchet. We got some throwing axemen. They're going to come out to try counter it. They're going to be met straight by long swords, Huskars, and pike.
And Hone sent in 3 of his throwing axes.
And this castle was just going to mount. This trebuchet is on a hill. It's getting a 25% attack bonus versus the castle. And the castle is taking 25% more damage.
Yeah, that castle.
Yeah. This castle is going to disappear very quickly. Now, I should note that the Franks, who Hone is playing, actually have cheaper castles. They only cost about 400 and a bit stone. Which is why he managed to get it 2 up so quickly by only mining that 1 gold mine. Here comes another castle up by his wood line in the north. I don't agree. That's in the middle of nowhere. That's not going to do anything. It needs to be down by his gold and stone and his town centre on the left.
What's
it's too high up.
F2F strategy?
Yeah, the 4 forward, 4 forward lumberjacks, villagers, yeah. Oh, look at this army composition from Jonk. It's just so hard to counter, right? You have the Huskarls in there to make it tanky against ranged. You got the Halbs mixed in so that, you know, knights can't even come into it. And then you also have the two-handed swordsman, and that would just shred any kind of, you know, like the throwing axeman, for example.
Yeah,
the two-handed swordsman actually do very well against the throwing axeman. So it's such a good army composition. There goes that second castle.
Yeah.
And now the GG's called.
Yeah, I think
We all saw the way that the game was about to go now that those defensive structures were taken out. What a game!
a very good game. Oh, what a shame. Jamie lost.
I was about to say, how do you feel about the fact that you just saw? I was gonna say something mean. Jonk kind of made Hone look like you.
A little bit, yeah. No, we did see a good rush from Jonk. I think he managed better than I did.
That drush that evolved just into so much feudal pressure at the start was so impressive, and it did so much damage, and it really just took that eco lead and just ran with it.
Yeah, just keeping two pikemen in there, like denied him any counter with his counter.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jamie just wouldn't make any until he got his throwing axeman.
Yeah, he just added them in. There was nothing. He couldn't handle that early game pressure, and Hone's everything just suffered for it. His economy, he couldn't get out. He got the counter units out, but he couldn't amass enough of them because his economy was too damaged.
Yeah.
It was a really good move to go to those erroneous golds at the edge of the map and to to spread out his eco to stop it from being raided so much.
Yeah. And he did manage his economy really well under pressure.
He did, He did manage it quite well, and it almost brought him back into the game. But the Goth spam. You got a forward mill with some farmers there from Jonk, from his forward villages. He's keeping them busy on the farms. And he's got so much resources in the bank, he could just pump out the army all day. He was definitely not going to the full capacity of what he could have been going.
Yeah, I think we also didn't see his full potential as early as we could have. Like, he could have brought out 2 castles by the time he put that one up.
Those 2 castles could have been dropped on the main town centre of Hone, and then what would he have done, right? He would have lost all access to his golds. Yeah.
That would have been a perfect
Exactly.
castle.
And if we look at the Fog of War, we can't actually look at it because the game's ended, but if one of those castles from Jonk had gone on that left side where those 2 gold mines are, that would have just sealed the deal, right? He could have done that very early on, so... Very, very one-sided blitz by the Goth player here. Very impressive. I was going to say thank you so much for joining me, Sexpanther, aka George.
Thank you for having me. I loved it.
It was good to have you host a game. Co-cast, sorry.
Yeah, I look forward to more games. Hosting and competing.
Of course, and for those still here with us from YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that bell so you get all the future
like and subscribe.
COVID-19 related Age of Empires content. It's going to be great. All right, very good.